didn't move it at all. I was trying to tighten it up because it wouldn't stay up.
Good morning and welcome to the weekend. Welcome to the Aired Out podcast from Fly on the Wall Productions. On this beautiful Friday morning, the sun has just come out. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're streamed everywhere you get your podcasts, and we are on the web at airedoutvt.com. Birthdays today, Chuck Martin first on the list at 49. We have Will Eberly on the list today. Happy birthday, Will. What's that now?
The Eberly brothers?
Yes. Wow, that was bad, Rex. Noah Trepanier. John.
Oh, I know a Noah.
Johnny Petit. Jacob Green. Happy birthday.
Did you say Johnny Petit?
Yes. Good sports guy. You don't know him? Whatever. Tim Garrison is
Obviously,
on the list
I don't know
today.
very many petite men.
David Clark, happy birthday, 59.
Oh, he's an old bastard.
Yeah, Wendy Proof is on the birthday list today.
Hey, I did a bunch of work for Wendy. I know her. Good people.
Did you?
Yeah, she lives right around my house. I did a bunch of work on there.
Teresa Payne.
Don't know her.
Keegan Nolan is on the list today. Oh, my God, she's 33.
Keegan, that little girl singer,
yeah,
remember her?
33.
Remember her, Scotty?
Yeah.
That's killing me.
Oh, my God. Remember when she was like 12, 13 years old singing at the Tunbridge Fair and
Literally.
shit?
Literally.
What was she,
remember.
16 when she left to go to Nashville or something?
Yeah.
What'd she do, ruin her life?
She was like singing when she was like 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Probably burnt her out.
Good morning, Scotty.
Good morning.
How the hell are you, buddy?
I'm awesome.
Man, it's great to see you. Today is March 7th, where we celebrate National Cereal Day today. So get your bowl and your spoon
Loops.
ready, and your Fruit Loops. Facebook question of the day. I'm jumping right into it, and both of you can answer this. What's your favorite high school basketball team? And and have they ever won a championship?
High school basketball team?
Yeah, high school.
Spalding Wrestling.
Yeah, no, basketball.
Basketball.
Spalding Wrestling.
Spalding wrestling team.
Come on,
Yeah.
Scotty, you got something here.
Well, right. I'm a hometown guy. Spalding, come on.
Come on. Is that where you
Do
went
they
to high
have a
school?
basketball team?
I don't know.
I've never watched it. I
No.
don't. I only watched.
I
Like,
was on the
professional.
wrestling team.
Absolutely, that's what I did.
Yeah.
What do you remember the most about Spalding Hoop? Do you remember a particular game, Scotty?
No, I sure don't.
I remember the
said,
only
I was
reason.
wrestling, so it was the same time of the year. So.
The only reason to go to a basketball game was because a girl invited you, or you invited a girl. There was somewhere to go.
And then you don't remember much of the game.
That's right.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine.
That's how high school games
Yeah,
work.
no, that's all right.
Did you have Coach Young?
No, Chuck Welch.
Oh, Jiminy, you're old.
I am old.
Chuck, I remember Chuck
I was
Welch.
on the last
Team for
team
Welch.
for Welch, and we won the state championship last time anyone's won it other than
Oh, you must have had
Mount
Colbeth on
Anthony.
your team.
Yeah, Colbeth.
You had Sean Colbeth?
Sean Colbeth, Hector Chaloux.
Hector, yeah.
Yep, Mike Bernier.
Yeah, that was a good team.
Kerry Welch. Yeah, Rusty Copping. Those guys were all state champions. And then a couple of other schlubs brought in a couple extra points, and we were state champions.
And that was the last time. Ever since then, Mount Anthony's won every single year.
Yeah, there's been some sketchy years in there.
Yeah, last year was a sketchy year because they shouldn't have won. They didn't deduct the points out of.
Right.
Same thing. Well, they just did it to a kid from Spalding, and they took third at wrestling because they disqualified him, took all of his points away or something. I don't remember what it was.
Chuck Welch is a great dude.
Oh, he's awesome.
He's such a great guy.
Oh, yeah. He was coaching when my dad wrestled, I think, in 1970. That's how old that guy was.
Yeah.
Michaela Bernier?
Yeah.
Really? She's saying that's my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bernier.
No shit.
Yeah, he was a force to be reckoned with. Yep.
My God.
It's different when you get grabbed a hold of by a wrestler.
By the way, Hazen beat White River Valley last night 62-50, and Thetford took out Winooski 62-46. You guys watch any March Madness? Are you getting worked up about this? Foaming at the mouth over March Madness? No?
Basketball?
Yeah.
I like the
Basketball?
Yeah, basketball. What is that? No, isn't there hockey going on? Okay, sorry. I like to bet on it. I don't get too worked up about it. Again, I'm a local guy. I vote for local teams. Go Vermont!
Well, we got
one of the things is Scotty's always at our fights.
Yeah,
him and Greg, those guys have a table up there.
He was
with
just
Gabe
telling
Cole.
me. He's always
absolutely.
Yeah. You sit at the same table with Gabe Cole?
Well, yeah, sometimes. Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Speaking
He's
of
a
hockey,
grifter. Whoever else let him sit
anybody
at the
will let me
table.
sit at the table. I'm okay.
Speaking of, so you're a hockey guy? You like hockey?
Yeah.
You going to watch any of this Norwich?
Oh, yeah.
With
I like
Skidmore?
going to Norwich. You know, I go a couple times a year.
That's,
down to Kreisberg, and it's always fun. You know, it's great, fast.
Yeah.
You know, college hockey right in our backyard. If you haven't been, what is wrong with you?
Hopefully they'll
way
be
faster than high. You don't realize even wrestling.
Yeah.
Like when we went from high school wrestling, and then Stoner Korshak and Tony Calcani came back from college and beat the ever living shit out of us. It was just a total different level.
Different level.
Yep.
Hopefully Norwich is going to be in the championship game on Sunday. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
We're rooting for them.
We're rooting. We're rooting.
Yeah, we'll be watching. Man, it's just checking some of the headlines this morning. The Crossett Brook Middle School in Duxbury closed yesterday because of flooding. They're going to stay closed today. The water came into the building through an underground telecommunications conduit from the brook following heavy rains and snowmelt.
Failed.
They've been trying to get the state to get that fixed for a long time. Maybe,
Good luck.
Maybe now
Should
that'll
have done.
happen.
Yeah, you should have done that 4 years ago. Them federal funds to fix that
Well,
stuff ain't going to be
they
there.
were warning them about it.
Didn't they
and look
just?
at it,
Aren't
just
they? Didn't they
happened.
just sign an executive order to dismantle the whole Department of Education or something?
Well, that's
let the
a
states
whole-
deal with it. The states don't have the money for it.
See, Scotty?
Yeah,
You see what's happening
Yeah,
here?
I see where it's going. Yeah.
It's getting me in trouble already. Jesus. Vermont State Police investigating a report of gunfire in Richford. Say they received a report Thursday afternoon about shots fired.
No way. Somebody shot a gun in Vermont? That is so off the wall. Who would think of such a thing?
Crazy.
That is absolutely nuts. What kind of world are we living in where people just shoot in Vermont? Next, they're going to be out there fucking hunting it. Oh, there's my JD.
Where's the tip jar?
Where? You got to stop.
You got to bring some money.
Dude, I watched my podcast from last Friday, and it was absolutely ridiculous. You can't let my potty mouth run like that.
Okay.
Here.
Jiminy
I'll just
cricket.
keep
I'm going to
track.
give you another
$1.
$50 just to cover for a couple days.
Got over $1 in here. Take this.
All right. All right. So there we go.
How you put it in?
You just slide it in.
Yeah, just put it in. So, national headlines. Let's see if Rex will interrupt me here. President Donald Trump could decide this week to take the first steps to eliminate the Department of Education. See, what I do, Scotty, is I just kind of read what's going on here, and then he jumps in and gets blood pressure goes
He's
right
the color.
through.
He brings the color.
White House officials have prepared an executive order directing Education Secretary Linda McMahon to begin the process of dismantling the department.
Did you ever think that we'd have somebody from the WWF running our government? But how cool is that now, huh?
She's Vince's wife.
Huh.
X.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's still.
I don't know. After them texts came out of what he was doing to them girls and what they were all doing to them girls,
Yeah,
I don't think he has a wife anymore.
Vince McMahon has got one of the scariest faces I've ever seen on somebody. I don't know, it's almost
yeah,
as
he's been
scary as
roided
Elon.
out for years. I'm sure he's an angry elf.
Roided out for years. Scotty, have you been roided out for years?
No roids here.
So, what else we have? Department of Government Efficiency is swinging the axe on veterans. Veterans making up 30% of the federal workforce.
They voted for it. They're getting what they want. I don't know what to tell them. I mean, you voted for it.
Scotty is such a smart guy.
See how I'm just sitting here? Nope. I'm not.
Smart guy.
Yeah.
So you are razor.
I know, and I gotta stop. I gotta stop.
Thank you.
I don't care. People got what they wanted.
National Transportation Safety Board says a.
Do we still have one of them?
Apparently we do. Right now we do. It's 9:15. Who knows? What
That
happens?
could change by 9:30.
Could. They're saying the cockpit voice recorder was not working on that medical transport plane that crashed in Philadelphia in January, and likely that voice recorder had not been working for several years.
How did it pass? Okay, so they're
Yeah, don't they inspect these planes?
100%. So every single time you have to have an inspector go out through, and they go through. So you have your crew members, your crew chiefs. They have a logbook that they go down through. Anything that's not working has to be in there. So it either becomes a red X aircraft. When they put a red X in there, that means that
Something wasn't.
that means
to
it can't fly.
Right.
If they put a red dash in there, that means it can still fly, but there's a defect.
This is what drives me nuts about the news is that they just say
They give you half stories.
They give you half the story. It hasn't
They
been
only
working
want you.
for
They
years.
only want to get you the sensational part. That's all.
Right.
Anybody ever reads
I want to know
headlines,
why.
nobody wants to know
I
what's
want to
really
know
going on.
why did this slip through the cracks? What else is slipping through the cracks?
Stop
Jesus.
asking silly questions like that.
Hey,
Nobody
did you check
cares.
them bolts on the door?
Oh my God.
God.
So I used to fly on and I remember I went on a test flight. We had just gotten a helicopter out, and we had a test pilot and stuff like that. And he was brand new, man. And I was like, I just remember we fired it up, and he was checking the controls, and I was like, hey, sir, I had a can of nuts and bolts. I was like, I have no clue where this can came from. He was so upset.
Oh, yeah,
The
'cause-
jokes you would play on pilots, new pilots. Like, I watched a guy, you do a fire up, you have a crew
What a
chief
sick
sitting out
bastard.
there,
Yeah.
and he's giving you your hand signals and stuff like that, and he noticed that the pilot was really focused on his logbook and shit like that, and he threw his headset. He was wearing a headset just like that, and he threw it up onto the windshield and went down, and then he ducked underneath. Dude, that pilot thought he took the head off of that fucking guy over there, just freaked him out. We had a lot of fun in the Army.
Crazy.
Vladimir Zelensky, or as Rex says, Vlad, is now saying Thursday, which was yesterday, that his country is going to be holding talks with the United States about ending the war against Russia next week.
Yeah, but part of
they're
the
going to get together and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I doubt it. That Zelensky, obviously Trump doesn't like Zelensky. He got him impeached last time. There's a reason why this whole revenge thing. I mean, you could say it's about money or whatever it is, but Israel's not giving back their $310 billion. They're not conceding any land to the Palestinians. So it's not really about money. It's about tit for tat. There's lithium, those mineral, shit ton of lithium. Who uses a major amount of lithium in the United States? Tesla.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's going to be interesting.
We all know what's going on, but they already met with the EU, and the EU, they talked about what they would concede to, and one of them is they're not conceding any minerals unless we once again say that we're going to provide security, just like we promised them in 1994 and we backed it. Why? I don't understand how we have any allies. We've screwed so many allies over throughout the years.
But they still look to us.
Yeah, why? I wouldn't. If I kept going, hey, Scotty, would you pick my mom up at the airport? And you just failed to pick her up every single time.
Yeah.
At some
Would
point.
you keep asking me?
No, at some point you're not really an ally, you're not really a friend, but we do this. And whether it was the Afghan people we pulled out, the Viet Cong people that we became allies, those Vietnamese mountain yard people that we left behind, every single time we get into a conflict, we fuck our allies over.
So
and the reason is because Son of a bitch.
Yep,
Good
right.
call.
Put it in there.
But it's every 4 years because every policy changes every 4 years. So so allies can only depend on 4 years at a time with us. That's really.
Let me explain to you exactly what Scotty Wilson is thinking right now.
When are we going to get to the samples of RK Miles? Let's talk about Scotty. Let's stop talking about politics.
Scotty is right now saying in his mind, oh my God, what's going on right now? What have I gotten into? What day of the week is it? Where am I? What
He brought a
planet am I
window
on?
sample down here. He's like,
and the owners of RK Miles are sweating right now profusely. Like
Don't say anything, Scott. Don't say anything.
Don't say anything.
and I don't
got a little
think
earpiece.
I don't think about that, but that it absolutely politics, religion, all that stuff can affect business.
Oh, yeah, that sure can.
100%.
Of course. Scotty, take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. It's
right,
going to
I'm
be
okay with
okay.
Let's talk about Scotty. He's a local legend.
I know he is. That's why he's on the air this morning.
You were with Allen Lumber first.
Yes. Yep.
Thousands of years.
Thousands. Yeah, I started there when I was 10. No,
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me though. It wouldn't.
Well, back in the day, all right, my first experience with the forklift was with Leo Monahan.
Oh my God!
Huh?
The child molester, dude.
Hey.
No way! That was my very first job at $2.75
Yeah,
an hour.
mine
That
too.
old perv.
Yeah, well, he gave.
I'm looking for my whistle here. I've got an air horn.
Oh, I have not heard that name in a long time.
Well, that's where I got my start on the forklift. But anyway,
Okay.
Southbury.
Yeah, Southbury, yeah.
You want me to shut his mic off?
No, he's fine. He's
Okay.
fine. And then I went to college at VTC.
Yeah.
And well, let's just say it was the most expensive hotel I ever stayed in.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I didn't make it through. Let's just say that. And so I went and my dad said, "Well, you got to get a job, boy."
Yeah.
And so I said, "Well, where?" And he said, "Well, go try Allen Lumber."
How old are you now?
I just turned 57 years old yesterday.
All right.
Wow,
So
you
this
are
was-
that much
so-
older than me. I didn't realize you were 5 years older than me.
So
I
this
look
was
good.
this was in the 70s.
There you go.
Huh?
Dad's saying get off your ass in the 70s.
No, this was 80, 86, 87.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
So
I was just getting into high school.
You were just in high school. Yeah, you're just a young buck.
Whole different world back then,
Oh,
brother.
yeah. It's a whole
Yeah.
different world. Yeah.
So he says get a job.
Get a job. I went to Allen Lumber, put in the thing. I got a call. You got the job. I showed up. And Bernie Allen, who was the boss, I walked in there and I'm like, "Hey, I'm here to start work." And he says, "Who the hell are you?"
Jesus.
And I said, "Well, I'm Scott Wilson." And he goes, "Oh, no." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Well, my dad's name was Scott Wilson, too. So my dad had done work for Bernie at his house. He used to work for Pools Incorporated and Tygeson Construction and had fixed his swimming pool and done a really good job. So Bernie was like, "Oh, I like this guy. I'm hiring him." And then this, this snotty nose
Good
kid
for
showed up.
you, man.
And he's like, "Well, okay, I'll give you a chance."
That's awesome.
And so 37 years later,
Wow.
yeah,
Holy
I'm still working out of the same building.
Damn, fella.
Yeah, I'm boring.
Wow, that's loyal and commitment right there.
Yeah, yep. That's a lot of loyalty.
Does
and commitment.
anybody
Yeah.
stay with a business?
So
for
just for
37 years?
reference, I think I've been through probably 30 salesmen in the amount of time that I've been in business.
Yep.
I've been in business. Me and Pete started together in 97, 96.
Yep.
And so every lumberyard, it's like the turnover rate on salesmen. So to have a salesman that's been at RK Miles for 37 years is insane. Whether it's Harvey's, whether it's Poulin's, whether it was Lacolade's, nobody
Anywhere.
can retain their salesman like that.
Well, the Allens took me in. Bernie Allen gave me that chance.
Yep.
And
Sure.
he believed in me, and there was a couple of stumbling blocks. I was a kid. I drank a lot of Jolt Cola.
How many people think that your last name is Allen?
Well, back
Or
in the day-
Miles.
yeah, or Miles.
Right.
Yeah, it gets messed up a lot.
Seriously.
Yeah, well, I'm an advocate for my company, right? An ambassador, so to speak.
Very much.
And
Very much so.
I was always for the Allens, and now I am for my new employee, Mr. Miles, who is also a local family.
No way.
Family guy. Yeah. Well, he's so RK Miles started way back. 4 generations ago when they were they cut trees down, right? They did logging, and then in 1940 they started RK Miles as we know it down in Manchester, Vermont, and that was Robert that was running that, second generation. And now
You said 1940?
1940. So this year is a big anniversary for us, 85 years.
Wow.
Yep. But then Joe Miles took over in 1990. And so he's the third generation. And Henry Miles, which is his son, is now up and coming, in the thing. So, yeah, RK Miles is a family-owned in Vermont. Family-owned and operated business. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's corporate."
Oh yeah, I assumed that.
Yeah.
I 100% assumed that. JD assumed that.
Yep. No, we're definitely not corporate.
Because when Poulin got bought out, they actually got bought out by USBLM, and all they are is a huge conglomerate that buys up businesses, run them into the ground, and then sell them again. That's what they do. So I was assuming. Because as we've seen in the past few years with COVID and everything, the prices
Definitely gonna get
it's
sued now.
crushed companies.
It
and
really
shit.
has. It really has. But one thing I really like about Mr. Miles is, right, he must be, maybe he's a little older than I am, but anyway, he's still striving to do more and to do better and to get bigger and to be able to supply, basically his motto is everything you need to build anything. So we got it down at RK Miles.
So what was up with Morrisville?
So Morrisville,
I
RK
roofed
Miles.
that.
Yeah, Morrisville. So what happened was RK Miles was down in Manchester, Vermont, and they were trying to expand, and they bought the Morrisville store, and then they were driving by all the Allen lumber stores, with trucks, and then the Allens were looking to get out, and so it was a perfect match for Mr. Miles. We sell the same exact products, right? Still sell the same windows and doors and everything. So they were like sister stores.
Yeah.
Same Vermont, it's Flannel Friday. That's one of Joe's things.
Yeah.
He's a Vermont guy, and I slid right into the new position very easily.
Man, I'm so glad we had you on here, because I honestly did not. I thought RK Miles was just some huge corporate
the Allens were good
conglomerate.
old boys. Been in the
100%.
Been in business for a long time.
Yes,
right?
yes.
137 years. And
They built up with, what is it, the Huntington Homes.
yeah,
they
they built up Huntington Homes,
Yeah.
Thunder Road. Right, they were good old boys, and people, especially in Vermont. I don't like change. Right, I've lived in the same house my whole life. I've had the same home phone number
No
my
shitting.
whole life.
Yep.
Lame.
Capital L.
Well, in that way, but I
You guys
always
need me
remember
for
my phone number.
excitement.
Yeah.
I think that's incredible. You my God, Carl Rinker was just in
He's
here.
another staple, been here
another
for
staple.
100 years.
He just told me that he's still living in his childhood home.
Yeah.
And he's like 105 years old.
Yeah, he's wicked old.
Yeah.
So where's this childhood home?
It's up in Graniteville, up
right.
on Holden Road.
My God, man.
Yep. Same spot. Well, my dad died when I was 20, and me and my mom, my sister lived there, and then after a while, my mom started to date and got out and got a new, and then she was ready to sell a house, and I was at the age where I was ready to looking for a house, so that's how it happened. Yeah, I got lucky.
Rex, isn't this? You talk about this all the time.
All
about
the
how
time.
Keeping families together.
Families together,
Yeah.
community together.
Heritage.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You want to really screw the government over? Become
Lineage.
self-sufficient.
self-sufficient.
They hate you when you don't need them.
Yeah.
They really hate you.
I think that's remarkable, man. And are you a dad?
Yes, I am a dad. Yeah,
How many kids?
I have one boy.
All right.
His name's Brad.
Yep.
Brad Wilson. And he's coming up on his 27th birthday.
We have Stacy here saying that she's your sister,
Oh.
and she's been at her job for 33 years.
Yep.
And she
Must have been
says
something that our parents
instilled a strong work ethic
Yep.
in us, is what she says.
Yeah,
So.
I was thinking about how many days and hours that I've had to wake up to be to work for 7 o'clock
Yeah.
in the morning, and that's a tough one. Yep. But now I can't even sleep late on the weekend. It just my eyes blink.
No,
open.
I can't.
Right?
Either.
It's-
Like I slept until 7:30 the other day. I was like, oh my god,
God.
I must be coming down with something.
Right?
Start drinking vitamin C and zinc because if I sleep till 7:30, I know something's wrong.
Yeah, it's you know.
And it was really hard when I was young, though. You know, like when you had to get up and you're like, I don't want to go. I just don't want to go. It was hard to wake up now.
Now
It's
it's
just-
you might as well.
Yeah, I just.
What else you gonna do?
Exactly. I'll sleep when I die.
What keeps you in this field? I mean, obviously you're very familiar with it. You must
Yep.
love what you do, or there's no way possible that you could be doing it for 37 years.
Well, you know, I say I've been doing the same thing for 37 years, but that's not really true. You know, when I first started, I was waiting on the counter. You know, waiting on people, and
Now you're not really a salesman. I just
No,
call
I'm-
you and
I'm
bug
not
you
really
because
a
I know
salesman.
you there.
You know, but I've done the the counter sales. I've done the ordering. Then I went to mill work. You know, doors and windows. And then I actually was the assistant manager down in Montpelier, and the manager down there for 10 years. And then and outside sales really wasn't something that Allen Lumber had. And then one day, an outside sales person from another company came into town. And we heard about it, and you know, I said to Gary Allen, I said, "We need an outside salesperson." He's like, "Well, shut up and go do it." Wow. And so I started doing outside sales. Now, for RK Miles, I'm a service technician. So
That's awesome.
That is awesome. You know,
what in the hell is a service technician?
Well, so we sell products, right, to people, and sometimes something isn't quite right. You know, geez, I bought a window.
I'll tell you why I switched to RK Miles here
You
as soon
know,
as he gets done this.
The sash lock might be broken when you got it. Oh, darn. Oh, my God. You know, before I had this position, we would have to wait for the service technician from the specific company to come and fix it. And in Vermont, we only have 3 months of summer, and the contractors can't wait that long to wait from some guy from Minnesota to come all the way out here to fix the sash lock. So Mr. Miles said, I'm going to buy you a van. We're going to train you up, and we're going to get you out there in the field helping people, whatever their problem might be, whether it's, oh, geez, you know, my window doesn't close correctly, or, oh, God, my cabinet drawer doesn't close all the way, or it's something wrong with my roofing, or whatever it might be. I'm going out to meet with the people that are having the problem and fix it. So that way, you know, you expect a quality product when you get it, and something's wrong, we make sure that you're happy at the end of it.
So 100%. I can install stuff, but if the product fails, it doesn't fall on me. But I get the phone call.
Yep.
So it's all of the lumber yards around, they all claim the same thing. We stand behind our product. We stand behind our product. And they all say it. Yep. But it's all lip service. Because I put in a door for a guy in Williamstown. It cost him $5,000. The door was warped. There was a 3/8 inch gap on between the hinge side. It took me 6 months for them to finally agree to have somebody come up and just look at it. Then they came up and we put a level on it. We showed the bow right inside of it. And they said, well, we're not going to replace the door. That's within, you know what they told me? That's within industry standards. Wow. And made him eat that $5,000 door. They said, well, we'll give you like $1,000 credit and you just live with it.
Do they understand that homes up here in the North Country move and shift?
No, they don't, because I'm telling you that's where the difference between RK Miles and other lumber yards is. Their service doesn't stop once your check clears. Mm-hmm. The other lumber yards, they'll tell you anything to get you to write that check. Mm-hmm. They'll tell you, like, I specifically buy my windows from him because you carry those ones that come with the lifetime warranty out of Maine. What the hell's the name of them?
Paradigm.
Yes, those things are incredible. So I had another example. They came out with a new product, and it was supposed to be a pre-primed trim board.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
I put it all on Carl Parton's house. All the paint peeled off it. Like flaked right off of it. Mm-hmm. I called the lumberyard. We're talking about $4,000 or $5,000 worth of trim on a house. Yep. And I called the lumberyard. I called them. I talked to the salesman over and over. And this is, you know, of course, another salesman, because it's not the original salesman. And they're like, well, you have too much moisture in it. I was like, you didn't even go up and look at it. I was like, it came pre-primed. We put it on. If there's too much moisture, then it came from the factory that way. So
Interesting.
they refused to do anything about it. I finally got a hold of the manufacturer. I talked to the little old man. We went back and forth. I sent him the pictures. And he explained to me the whole process of it and how it couldn't work and yada, yada. And then I sent him the pictures, and he goes, you're right. Something happened in the process of us making it, and it was a failure at the manufacturer. And I had to go up and eat all of that trim up on Carl Parton's house.
How did
for
it
my
taste?
own reputation.
How did it taste?
Yeah, how did
For
it
my
taste?
own reputation, though.
Yeah, of
so
course,
I
yeah.
could have just said, hey, that's on the manufacturer. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And I have to live around here and face these people
Thank
every
you.
single day.
Thanks, Scotty.
So, and that's the nice thing between like having a big corporate and having someone like RK Miles and Scotty. Scotty walks around here every day. He goes into Gusto's and has to face those people that are customers and stuff. Those guys over in corporate don't have to face you, so they don't care.
Yep.
So that's why I had to eat those things. That's the reason I stopped going to them, because I'm done eating it to save my face because your product sucks.
Whoa, breathe in. It's gonna be okay. High quality products is what we're selling, right?
See?
Yeah. See how I did that? Yeah.
Beautiful.
See, I'm working it. We sell high quality products, and yeah, sometimes stuff happens,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And I've gone out to the job where maybe the install wasn't perfect,
Right?
but my job is not to point at that. My job is to try to get the product closer to the way you expect it.
Yeah.
So, if we see a door that's way out of square and way out of plumb, do I say, well, hey, your guy didn't quite put it in right? No, I say, let's come up with a solution on how to get this to work better.
Yep.
It's all in how you word it, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
It is. It's how
right.
you use tact.
And then I
how you
sit
talk to
there and
people.
I talk to the contractor. I'm like, okay, if we do this, we do that, I think we can get this door to come back into it, right? And then that way we're all working together, and at the end, the homeowner's happy, the contractor's happy.
You don't have a
everybody's
pissed off
happy. We don't
contractor
have-
because you just threw him under the bus to the
Right.
homeowner. That's another thing that happens so often is a customer. You're like, hey, that is a manufacturer's issue.
The phone ringing, it happens every Friday.
But this
Scotty. It's okay.
this happens a lot. He's absolutely right. This happens a lot. You put a door in or a window in, and they don't really want to pay attention to it. They don't want to know what the problem is, and they walk up, they take 2 seconds, and they go, well, he just installed it wrong. Throws the contractor under the bus, and then the homeowner calls you screaming at you because
Nobody's
some
happy.
salesman that's never worked on a window just called up and just told him that, well, the salesman said, well, how many windows has a salesman ever put in?
Yeah.
None. Here's the manufacturer's installation process. Tell me where I installed it wrong. So a lot of times other companies will use that just to be like, no, it's not our product.
Well,
just to
there's certain steps to everything, right? Whether you're installing roofing or a window or whatever,
Absolutely.
you got to put the nail through the line, right?
Yep.
And if you don't, let's just say that you don't do it by the manufacturer's
They
specs,
blow off.
Then they have a way out.
Yep.
So read the instructions. Wait, is this on?
It's on.
Read the instructions. They tell you how to do it.
Yep.
Follow the instructions. Then you know.
And you got to really tell the old school guys, because the old school guys, they're like,
windows here.
they don't believe in evolution. They don't believe that things have changed since 1944.
We never had to do that. You mean I got to shim this window? Well, yeah,
exactly.
Shim the window.
Just put metal on the first 3 feet. You don't need that insulation. The metal will take care of that ice. No.
Yeah, no.
No, it sure doesn't.
Scotty, we got Ed Collins tuned in this morning. Patty O'Neill.
Who are these shady characters?
God. Got to start screening guests, JD.
Oh, jeez, what the? Come on.
He's on
Who
my
are these
job
people?
site.
You ought to fight that guy. Scotty, I was in radio a long time ago.
Yep.
And way back, like WDEV days, I would always get the Allen Lumber spot,
Yep.
which was on reel to reel. And I'd have to dub it in to the computer system to play. Bottom line is, for over 30 years, I've been listening to the Allen Lumber commercials and the Scotty Wilson whistle, which I've been trying all of these decades to
To copy? Well, it's patented. So you can't,
I understand it's patented.
Yeah.
But here it is. Are you ready?
Yep. No, come on.
That was not.
So every Friday morning, right? This
Sorry.
morning, I got to do it live.
Yes.
You know, and it's
What are we
hard.
talking about?
You
I've
don't
never.
listen to
The
DEV?
Scotty Wilson.
No, what is the
whistle?
Scotty Wilson? How do I not
Scotty,
know about
you live
this?
under a rock?
What is wrong with this?
I don't know. So, I've been doing advertising on
It's his
WDEV
trademark.
since the turn of time.
Oh, I've never listened to
yeah,
WDEV.
yeah, no, I'm a regular.
I'm not.
Well, you probably don't get
I'm
up that
excited.
early. Yeah, you're probably not up that early. It's 6:30 in the morning on Fridays.
Yeah, definitely not.
And I have a patented whistle now. So Bernie Allen came up with this idea of, I want a sound, So even if people aren't paying attention, they hear that sound, they know it's
Yes,
Allen lumber.
100%.
And we were trying to come up. I'm like, how about a hammer? And then how about a circular saw or whatever? And then I got a big window order, and I went,
No way.
yeah, and it stuck. And he's like, that's it. And I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, that's the one. Bing. And so now I'm known as Whistling Wilson on WDEV.
Oh, that's awesome.
Whistling Wilson on WDEV.
I'm just known as an asshole.
Well,
Well,
there is
hey,
some
yes.
truth to that. God, that's incredible.
Well, that's the story, right? There's always a backstory.
I've always wondered about that.
Yeah. Well,
Seriously.
now you
now
know.
if you do that somewhere on
Things
the
I'm
property,
fucking learning today.
yeah, put that in there. If you do that on the property, do they know where you are?
Is that like ringing the bell in the bar and everybody gets a free drink?
Yeah,
If
kinda.
Scotty Wilson
You
whistles,
hear that whistle?
drinks are on Scotty.
No, it's just it's funny though. People come in and say, "Is Wilson here?"
Oh my God!
Oh yeah, I'm pretty special.
Okay,
And,
Josh Howard is asking about he's like, he knows it's not our expertise, but how would you fill the potholes
All right, so
And Barry.
he's gonna
How would you fill the potholes
with
there?
bodies?
this
No.
with bodies.
I don't know. I mean, I'm
So
surprised.
it's the only way
This
that you
is-
can do that. I used to work for the city. The only way that you can do that is with cold patch during this time of the year.
And they heat it up, right?
Yeah, it comes. It's heated up, but it's really not that great. It
But Rex,
continually
with
comes up,
all
falls
the
out.
Cool new stuff out there. What about spray foam?
Spray foam.
I don't
Well,
know, man.
it'll-
I've been to
Spray foam will stick to your skin for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
You probably still have some on
Yeah,
there.
I remember the first time it came out. A guy came in with it on both hands. He's like, "How do I get this off?" And
You
I'm like,
don't.
You didn't read the instructions, did you?
I
buddy?"
had
don't
that
get
guy
it off.
working for me, Inc. He's the one that stabbed them 2 kids down here, but he worked for me before that. But anyway, I used to have a picture. He was such an idiot. He'd run his mouth, and I just remember we picked him up one day and stuffed him upside down in a trash can. He was so upset, and because he was supposed to be a big tough guy.
Oh, that's nice, Rex.
nice.
So
Isn't this
he was
beautiful?
playing with the spray foam, and it exploded, and he had a beard, and it was all over his face, his eyebrows, and his beard. He's like, "How do
That
I
does
get it
not
out?"
come off.
Oh no, we made him shave
does
his
not come
eyebrows,
off.
his beard, everything. There was no way
Does
around
not
it.
come off. Read the instructions. Wear gloves.
I just don't understand. I've been out to Colorado, Washington State, and our roads are the worst. Even New York. Like I ride
Dude,
my
yesterday it
motorcycle.
was 60 degrees, and today it's not.
Well, that's
We
it.
got extreme
That's
temperature
it.
change.
You don't think Maine, Canada,
No, we're special here. We're
Colorado,
special here.
Can I
Michigan, they don't have like the same extreme weathers?
listen.
Alaska?
I would love to say something, seeing it. Well, last I checked, it was my podcast.
Oh shit. Whoops.
But here's
It
the,
is?
here's the
Don't let him
thing,
lie to
man.
you.
It's
It's
like
Friday.
I bitch about the potholes, but I don't connect it on a personal level to any. I don't point the finger at it, any like someone's not doing their job or
Yeah,
whatever.
we need to blame someone.
Well, our
Come
culture,
on, it's 2025. We
our
have to blame
culture needs
someone.
to
It's the
blame
Democrats' fault.
Because listen, man, these city employees are busting
Yeah,
their
they are.
asses.
Especially during the winter, man.
They're
So what a lot of
busting their
people don't understand,
asses.
a lot of people don't understand this is they're like they'll see a city worker sitting around. There's like 10 of them doing a pothole or something like that. Yes, it's not a great view, but believe it or not, it's cheaper to have those guys there because you can pay them an hourly wage, but they still have to get their 40 hours in.
Yeah.
You can pay a subcontractor to come in and do that, and you can give them $100 an hour, but it's still going to equal out to what you're paying these guys in a week. It's probably more. So they have to find things, busy work, when they don't have work to do.
Most of Vermont is built on ledge, was the excuse that I was given, says Patty. Todd Anderson says our roads are what they are from years of neglect. You know, here's the thing, man. You got the plowing, you got the salting, you got, like you said, Scotty, the changes in temperature. These are just some of the reasons why the potholes are so bad.
I'm definitely not an expert. I have no clue. I would go to a state that's similar to ours that has great roads, and I'd ask them how they did it.
I don't know, man. Listen.
When I want to get better at something, go to the experts. Go to the guys that are.
They mud season?
just.
What are we gonna do then?
I know. I know.
What about hovercraft?
Yeah,
I'm thinking outside the box.
Drones. Absolutely. We all should be flying drones. I don't know why we're not George Jetson at this point anyway.
Yeah, I thought we were supposed to be
doing that?
Hey, what do you guys got for sales going on for this spring?
We got a bunch of stuff.
Look, did you see how he shifted?
Yeah, I did that. I like that.
Clutch down.
I brought some samples, Rex.
Perfect. Let me move my swear jar and I'll keep it down.
All right. Now, when I see this, when I see that this is the Trex stuff, I see this and I'm thinking right off, I can't afford that. I can't afford that.
You're probably right.
You know, Rex,
you're number one, Rex.
Fucking come over there. You want me to come over there?
So the biggest mistake people make with these things right here is they think they're going to frame it out like a regular deck. And once again, this is where the directions come in are very, very important.
Read the instructions.
Because people will frame it like a regular 3/4 inch board or a 5/4 board. But in actuality, they're supposed to be 12 inches on center because it's a composite board. Okay. And they'll warp and they'll move and everything else. And then they call you up and they're like, hey, why is this happening? Because you didn't frame it 12 inches on center.
He's right, Scotty.
It depends on the board, right? Different boards.
Yep.
Some of them, if you look,
are engineered structural.
Right. Some of them are structural, and then I don't know if you can see, but some of them got holes in the back. See it there?
Bring that down just a tiny little bit. Yeah, right there. Perfect.
Okay. So these are less expensive.
Okay.
Right. We save some money by not putting as much material in there.
But do you really save money?
Well, you got to frame a little.
Now you got to frame it.
Yep. But the board is less expensive. So here's the question. Right? You're going to put pressure treated down. Right? You're paying Rex to install your deck. And you're going to put pressure treated down. And then you're going to have to stain it every year after that and pay Rex to stain it. Now, after however long the longevity of that pressure treated runs out, and you got to pay Rex again to put it on, or you could have bought a little bit more expensive product, have Rex put it down once, and then every summer you get to sit on the deck instead of staining it.
Instead of Rex coming back with me being subjected to looking at his plumber's crack every time.
Every single time. Counter to that is...
Yeah, what's your counter?
How old are you? How long are you going to live? How long? Pressure-treated wood these days lasts a long time. And if I do my job properly underneath with gravel and don't let mud and everything hit the bottom of that, it'll make it last even longer because I'm going to build you a professional deck, whether it's pressure-treated or not. We're going to do it the right way. So he's absolutely 100% right.
How old are you? That's a great question.
If you're young, I do this.
If you're young and this is the first deck and you want it to last forever,
do it all in Trex.
Right.
Same thing. People come to me, they're like, what a stand and seam roof versus a asphalt roof. Well, if you're 75 years old, what the hell do you need 100-year? Why are you going to spend all of your retirement and all your money on double the cost of a roof when you could put a 100-year limited lifetime dynasty shingle on there and it's going to outlive you? Mm-hmm. So you have to find out what the purpose is for people in order to get within their budget. You have to understand your customer before you ever sell anything to them.
Here's my thing that I
love that.
Yeah, that I've always said is that if you are going to pay a contractor or a professional to install your product, why would you cheap out on the product? Right. If you're doing it yourself, then get the cheapest thing if you're looking to do cheap. But you're going to do it. You're going to pay a professional, get a quality product so it lasts a long time and you don't have any problems with it.
There's always someone cheaper.
There's always something cheaper.
Question here. In Linda saying composite is the way to go. Our deck is 10 years old and only maintenance is pressure washing once a year. All vinyl
be careful
railing.
On the pressure washing. Let's talk about the pressure washing, just at least on the Trex products, right? These are composite product. So the inside's made up of old pallets and plastic jugs that they've made
Recycled
into this
material.
recycled material. And if you hit the pressure washer too high a pressure,
You'll
you'll
gouge it.
lift those little hairs up of the wood, and now all of a
fibers.
sudden they're catching more dirt. And then you put a little dirt, a little water, and then we're growing stuff. So low pressure. Just use your hose and a little brush.
Interesting.
Never knew that, but I'm absolutely will. tell
I'm
my
just
So
customer that.
Wealth.
I have to ask you, and I know that Mr. Miles is probably going to sweat a little bit, and I know you'll be careful with
Yep.
with your Rex will not be careful at all. But what's your feeling now about the tariffs with Canada? Because
Everybody wants to know what's going to happen with building prices. That's
Right.
why you're really here, man. We're here.
that's
to
why you're
ambush
really
you.
here.
No.
We set a
But a
trap.
lot of people are really worried. As you know, because I've been talking to you, I've already bought a couple roofs from him that we're not actually doing till summer, but we are getting the materials and getting them now because we don't know.
Right.
I don't know. So
Right. Nobody knows, right? And that's the scary part, right? Is that we don't know, right?
the uncertain.
You know,
And now
you put up a
we've-
tariff,
Yeah.
he'll take it down.
Well, he
He'll put
paused
up.
it. It's under pause right now
Yep.
until April 2nd. Why don't we just make it April 1st, April Fool's Day? That's just
Well,
a
you know,
thought.
it's a tool that he's using to get what America wants. I guess is what he.
That's
how
his
he-
strategy.
right? That's his strategy.
Whether we agree with his strategy, that's a different story.
Right.
But that is his strategy. He is,
Yeah,
yes.
right. So,
So-
in the building industry, we get a lot of lumber from Canada.
How much?
A lot of
A
shingles.
lot
a
up
lot
here
of
in the
plywood.
northeast. We use a lot of Canadian lumber.
All of our trusses.
Some trusses come from Canada.
Poulin
Shingles.
only gets them from Canada. They don't get them from anywhere else. That's the only place they get them from is Canada. So that's going to
So
be
they're
a
right, and it's going to
problem
affect
for them.
aluminum products. Some of the Marvin aluminum.
metal for doing
Anything,
siding.
right? The steel and the rebar. All of this stuff is going to affect. It's going to affect us. So, we are only holding our quotes now for a very short time because it
Really?
could,
Yep.
right? And we don't want people to get in trouble. But we are doing a lot of estimating right now. People are coming in with their house plans, and we do takeoffs for those as a free service at RK Miles.
Okay.
So you bring in a set of plans. We'll say, okay, it's going to cost right around here for the building materials. But and we can't hold that quote very long because it's changing every day.
It's the market is like
Yeah, and we follow the market. So it's hard to tell what's going to happen in the future. And if I could, I probably wouldn't be working here because I would have bought the
Right.
right stock back in the day.
Yeah, we all would have
we
bought
all would've,
Bitcoin.
do you think lumber yards are all pretty much on par for? They're all right around the
Yeah.
same price.
Yep.
Absolutely
right,
not. Absolutely not. I'll tell you. He's saying absolutely not. You could go from
Just put 'em in.
Abishon to
Put 'em in a
RK. You could go to Poulin, and you're going to find. So I know for a fact, Poulin Lumber, they would call down and ask pricing, pretending to be a customer, and they would ask pricing right before their sales meeting so that they could go in and adjust to make sure that they weren't higher than you guys,
Right.
and stuff. So no, it really depends, and the way that they try to sell it is they'll say, well, yes, we are more expensive. That's because our product is better.
Well, and that can be, right? Listen,
Yep.
I do competitive estimation all the time, right? Somebody says, hey, I can, buy this here, and what can you do? So I usually just go. I don't call the competition. I do what we have, and I give you the best foot forward. And our prices are super sharp. I got to admit, we're pretty big corporation right now. We've got great buying power. So yeah, our prices are very sharp. I hear it a lot that even compared to some of the big boxes, we beat the big boxes too. So it depends on the product, because you can buy cheaper, or cheaper quality, right, or less expensive, right? You gotta be careful there.
Right. You can go buy a John Deere tractor at Home Depot, or you can go to John Deere and buy a John Deere, because one of them is going to come with a whole service plan and service and people that stand behind their product, and one doesn't.
Different bearings.
Yep.
A lot of difference that you can't tell looking at it. They both green.
Yep.
Right? Same with, power tools that we deal with. The
Vinyl windows. Every vinyl window looking from the outside looks exactly the same. The $200 window from Home Depot looks just like his $500 window, and you'll never know the difference if you're a homeowner. As a builder, as an installer, I absolutely know the difference.
Wow.
We sell a bunch of different brands because not everybody's budget is the same, right? So, not everybody can afford champagne. Somebody's got to get some wine. So we've got different levels of different things, be it cabinetry or windows, right?
Yep.
We're talking windows, so we have different ranges. You come in, you say, hey, I've got this amount of money. I want to see what you got available. And then I'll give you a price on this window, and this window. I'll show them to you, have you open them, close them, tilt them in, do whatever you want. Look at the, energy performance on them, and then make a good educated buy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Weren't you the one that screwed me on all them windows? You went up there and fixed that lady's windows, and then I lost the job on doing all the windows. I didn't know how to fix it. I was like, this window is shit. And so I sent him up there. I was like, I'll send a window guy up there to verify.
Yeah. I'm a fixer guy, right?
And he went up there and fixed her windows, and she's like, all right, I'd like my money back. He fixed my windows. I was like, damn it.
Sorry,
but I
Rex.
did. No, it was good. It saved the lady like almost $6,000 in windows because you were able to just
I think it was spring balance
something. Yeah, I had no clue about them things. I just replace them.
Scotty, please don't swear. Your mom is watching from
hi, Mom.
Venice, Florida. My God,
that's awesome, huh? You're in
how
Florida.
often do you run down there? Do you?
No, don't.
So
Sorry,
back
Mom.
to Trump.
No, my mom wants me. My mom wants me to go down there all the time.
Yeah,
she does.
I had to send Brenda. Brenda's going down in April. My in-laws keep asking.
Yeah.
Have you been invited to the party at his house?
When Brenda goes?
Yeah.
No.
It's gonna be
Nothing
massive.
hookers.
You got to
baby.
get tickets. You got to get tickets. The tickets. They're
That's the
going
first thing. So Brenda's taking Big
Tickets are
Kenny's.
going up.
Big Kenny's wife is going with my wife. They're going down to St. Petersburg to stay at our house, and they go down there. And first thing, Kenny calls up. He's like, "Bro, they're leaving April 2nd. Where are we getting the meth? Where are we getting the hookers?" I was like, "Kenny,
Oh, come on.
you're like 70 years old and on your way out. I'm not. I mean, that's a great way to
Scotty.
go out, but
What
I'm
did you
not
get me
ready
into?
to do that."
Poor Scotty. For windows, are triple pane windows worth the cost over double pane?
Absolutely,
Oh.
I believe they are in our winter because especially with the cost of fuel.
All right, what do you say, Scotty?
I say there's 3 things you need to worry about when thinking about insulating. The ABCs of insulating.
Uh-oh.
A, your attic. B, your basement. And then C is everything in the center. So once you've looked at how much insulation you've got, once you in your attic, once you've looked about insulation in your basement, then you look at the windows. That's the last thing you want to look at. People come to me and say, "Hey, Scott, I got windows. They're double pane. They're 20 years old. I want to put triple pane in because I'm going to save so much heating costs."
Fascinating.
That's kind of like J.D. Green. He has a really cold gable end. He's like, "We should change the window inside there." I was like, "You should take the sheetrock off and put insulation in the wall."
Right,
That
right.
would help a lot more
Your
than
money
the new
is
window.
better well spent up in the attic than thinking that changing your window is going to save you heating
That's a
costs.
good point.
Now, let's just say you are building a new home and you are planning on all this and
Energy
just
efficient.
having super windows and then cruddy insulation in the walls and in the attic. It doesn't make sense, right? So look at all of the component, the whole envelope. Just changing out your windows from double pane to tri-pane, thinking you're going to save a bunch of money. You're going to spend a bunch of money more to get the tri-pane. And I don't know, again, how old are you?
Oh, I'm
If you're
52.
going to
Right.
get your money back in energy savings over, the amount
Yeah,
of
if
money.
it's going to take you 50 years to get your energy savings,
Right.
is it worth?
When are you going to get over to Bromert's house? He's saying that he's got windows that are leaking like a sieve. And he put them in 2017. Do I have to put you in an arm bar?
Why are your windows failing from 2017?
They shouldn't be. Is he
They
asking me that?
Who did he buy the windows for? What
I
brand
don't know.
window?
I don't know. We'll find out.
All right.
Brumert
Yeah, we
will tell us.
absolutely need to find that out because that's not.
Yeah,
So they're leaking? What do you mean by they're leaking? Are they closed and locked?
probably. Probably.
You know, it's amazing. I go to people's house and they're like, geez, I feel air coming in here. And I go over and I'm like, I lock the window.
And that's the other thing. So another
like
thing,
me.
people, they love to have double hung windows because especially for a second story, they love to build in it. But a double hung window is less energy efficient than a single hung welded window.
Correct. You know, when you think about operating, right? You got
Yep.
just one panel that slides instead of both.
Yep.
So, you know, the tightest window is a picture window that doesn't open
Absolutely.
at all, right?
Right.
But we like air.
Learned so much.
Yeah.
Right?
So, and that's the thing is just don't blindly believe people. Talk to somebody. Scotty's obviously knowledgeable, been in the business for 37 years. Don't let somebody bullshit you.
And I'm
call him and ask
I'm
him.
an honest guy, right? Too, right? People
Too honest.
People, well, too honest, right? People bring me into their homes, right? And I take my shoes off when I get to your house. I respect your home. I tell you the truth, right? If you're
Yes.
gonna come in and say, Scott, do I need new windows? I'm a window sales guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And when I say no,
That's amazing.
it's because I know that when you do, you'll come back to see me.
That's amazing.
Right.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Fascinating.
I have to see you at Hannaford's.
Yep.
That's
Patty,
the cool thing about buying local and buying,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
Right.
you have to face your customers.
Glenn says the insulation around them is faulty. Patty says, I just had a brand new house put in as flood replacement. The blown-in shit that they put in is weird to me. Is it worth it?
Oh, 100%. I just did a brand new house, a $500,000 house. That is some of the best insulation you can get when you dense pack those walls. Absolutely. I prefer dense pack over spray foam, honestly.
But what about when they start to settle down on the gable end?
They don't. That's why we do that. Okay, so what I was talking about with you fool, is that stupid insulation they used to use back in the day.
Vermiculite.
Yes, and it was not dense packed.
Oh.
So
They
what
just
we
poured
do,
it in.
right? They just poured it in so it would settle. Now we use big blowers and we force it in there and we pack it in. It's almost like concrete when you pack it in a dense pack. There's nowhere for it to fall back down.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. You've been driving around, you know, before it got warm and looking at people's roofs. And some people have the snowpack still on the roof.
Yeah.
And then other people, it's all melted and there's a 42-inch, 42-foot long icicle.
Yeah. Right.
And those people are worried about their windows, right?
Yeah.
All of that heating costs, all of that oil, all of that whatever propane or whatever you spent your money on, that heat is escaping through your insulation because you don't have enough. So
Wow.
put more insulation in your attic, people.
Wow. Whew. Man, we're getting like all kinds of questions here for you.
Just like Bob Vila.
Scotty. Damn. You got to come back, brother. I mean, this is
fun.
This is amazing. See, I told you.
Huh? I was all nervous.
I told
Yeah.
you. Where's the hard hat?
I brought the hard hat, right? Because safety's first, but I left it over there.
Well, especially when you're sitting next to him.
Right.
Jesus. I just hope you still have a job by the end of the day here
Yeah.
today.
Well, me too.
You know?
If not, hey. Huh?
God, I mean, lots of look at the comments that are coming
What?
in. This is
I
amazing.
can't see it. Is it all bad stuff?
Well, no, it's
stuff?
just questions about exterior
Sorry,
walls in the attic and
Yep. Right. I'm sure this is hugely popular, especially around here where we need a bunch of insulation.
Patty saying that she loves double hung with a wink. So what's that all about?
That means that both windows operate
I
and
understand.
they can tilt in.
Thank you for explaining
no
that
problem.
to me. We put a fire out from a house built in the 1800s, found old newspaper layers deep inside the insulation. Interesting. Ashley apparently missed the whistle that you did earlier. Would like to hear it again. There it is, right there.
Huh? Don't try to copy it, Rex. I know you're going
All right.
to be
Trying.
practicing. He's gonna be
Sorry, I
practicing.
was-
I'm trying. I'm and failing.
I can't.
That's
listen.
horrible.
Let's talk about you said the fire there, and
Yeah.
that's another thing that we've been talking a lot about is egress windows.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? So people don't think of windows as a life-saving thing, but
Yes.
they are, right? If you need to get out a window in case of a fire
Quickly.
it needs to be the right size,
Right.
right? Can't be a little window like this.
Well, for me, that
well, anybody, right?
What is it? 30 by 60 has to be the interior
Well,
opening.
what the code says, it has to be a minimum of 20 inches wide. It has to be a minimum of 24 inches tall. And then those dimensions need to add up to 5.7 square feet. So on a casement window where you crank the whole window open, it's a lot easier to reach that. But on double hungs, you're only counting the bottom half when you slide it up. So in bedrooms where you're sleeping, right, you need two means of egress. One is the door that you walked in and out of, and the other one is a window that you can get out of. And a lot of people say, well, Scott, I can get out that window. It's not really that we can get out. It's more of a fireman with his backpack on getting in to save you.
That's interesting.
Drag you out, right? So that's where they came up with this egress size. And, it's a code. So, yeah, if you're thinking about changing out the windows in your bedroom, just remember it needs to be of a certain size. And we can help you with that when you come on down and talk to us.
Wow.
Right. Well, you need to if you're in the city of Barrie, you have to get a permit. And they have to come out and inspect it and make sure that you're
inspectors. They have to come out and
they have to make sure you're using an egress window.
Yeah, down in Montpelier, a lady went to the big box, bought a bunch of windows, and of course the inspector comes in, and not one of them met the code, and then so she couldn't return them. So she got stuck with a bunch of windows that they wouldn't allow her to put in. She reached out to us, and we made a deal with her, but yeah, no, it was a bad thing. So be careful. Be careful. Buyer beware.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of regulations and stuff
There is
here.
a lot of codes.
A lot of codes. State, city, redundant codes.
Yeah. Well, they're all put in place. It's for safety, right?
Yeah, I'm not a big seller on the whole safety thing. I'm just because that's okay. So, and the reason, and that's just my own perspective, is because when we went and we did the sanctioning for the state, that was the same thing. It was all about safety. And then when it came down through, it's all about money.
Yeah.
Do you really need a permit to put windows in?
Yes. In the city of Barrie, you do.
Wow.
Well, you can do it at night. But you're going to get busted because your neighbor's going to see it, and they're like, I had to get a permit.
Putting a window in.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He's putting
Busted.
a window in right there.
Rat on your neighbor.
I think he got it from our
Tell on your neighbor.
Don't tell on your neighbor.
Oh.
But, listen, before you do any construction, right?
Yeah.
Before you dig in the dirt, you got to call to make sure there's
Dig
no
safe,
wires.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's always things.
I don't even know all the codes. I've gotten because I just got I actually got a fine from John Hammer for illegal plumbing. I was like, I didn't do any illegal plumbing. I said we replaced the sink.
Yep.
I said we used the existing plumbing.
Yep.
And that's when he informed me. He's like, well, code says once you touched it,
Right.
because it was a commercial property, now everything needs to be brought up to code.
Yep.
They needed to put some sort of thermal tank on the hot water tank. They had to, I was like, so I got a $200 fine.
That's what I'm saying.
And John Hammer, he says to me, he goes, well, you can appeal it. I was like, John, I just explained to you that I thought that this is how it went and that what I did was wrong. I said, what the fuck would that say to my kids if I went and appealed it? Why would I appeal it? I was in
Because
the
they probably
wrong.
would charge you again to appeal it.
I was like, I'm not.
right.
Yeah, right.
But I just don't understand that. I knew I was. I was in the wrong. Just suck it up.
Sometimes it's hard for people to say, oops, I made a mistake.
Yeah. Apparently, Glenn's contractor made a mistake. Didn't get a permit before putting in windows.
Oh, well, it was 2017 though.
Okay. When did all this change?
The codes are always changing.
Change every year. Right?
Yeah.
There's insulation codes. There's plumbing and electrical codes, of course. There's ADA requirements. There's fire. There is a lot to know.
Jeez.
I had a mistake that I made where we were putting in a fire door into a restaurant, and we had with a panic hardware, and we put in. They wanted a view panel, but the view panel was up too high in the door. It was a 7-foot tall door.
Oh.
And the code said that because, if someone was in a wheelchair out in the hallway,
Right.
the window needs to be down within 44 inches of the floor. So that way you could see them and not wipe them out when you went out.
Gotcha.
So I had met one code, the fire code, but I did not meet the ADA code. So it was wrong. So they put a ding on it. They couldn't open the restaurant until
Very
we changed it.
interesting.
So that's a good point, is why you hire a general contractor.
Exactly.
So a lot of homeowners, they're like, well, I don't want to pay the cost of a general contractor. I can hire this. I can hire my buddy, the electrician. I can hire my other friend, and I don't have to pay you to do it all. And this is where, so my fine that I got for the illegal plumbing that I did was very, very minimal. It was a couple $100.
Yep.
The homeowner, he got a huge fine, had to bring in a professional plumbing company that I told him we would have covered all that, but he didn't. He wanted to save the cost. He's like, well, I could be a general contractor. I said, cool, you can be a general contractor. And then he would be like, well, can you go pick up materials up in Home Depot? I was like, no, that's really on the general contractor. Make sure the materials are there for my guys on Monday, because that's what that's what a general contractor does. And I said, hey, my man, you wouldn't get these fines. And me and John talked about it. I was like, I would accept all the fines if I was a general contractor, but if I was a general contractor, I would have had a plumber in there, because I know I would have been screwing myself.
I want to talk about a couple of sponsors here. If you need any kind of support whatsoever, assessment, brief treatment, safety planning, getting you connected with additional services is key for Washington County Mental Health. Their Access Hub is something you really should check out. They've got a team that is on your side, ready to help you out always. The Access Hub is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 on Fridays, 34 Berry Street on the Downing Street side in Montpelier, or you can call 802-301-3200. Playing tonight and through the weekend at the FGB Theaters, Capitol Showplace, and the Paramount right here in the Granite City. Honora, Captain America, Dog Man, Last Breath, and Rule Breakers is at the Cap. Was just there, just saw the Led Zeppelin movie there at the Capitol Theater, and it was unbelievable. Paramount Twin in Barrie has Captain America and Mickey 17. Tickets are on sale. You can get them.
I can't wait to see. I love Marvel.
You
and
do?
all them. Yeah.
You get into that?
I do. I like all of them.
FGBtheaters.com if you want to get your tickets online ahead of time. Saturday, Riff Raff is at the Capitol, by the way. Also, I just want to mention Bobby Bartlett, because on Fridays,
Bobby!
And Scotty,
Hey, Bobby!
Hey, Bobby!
Scotty, you know Bobby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You both are in bands.
I'm in a band.
Yeah.
So is Bobby.
And so is Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby plays drums.
What's your band?
Well, we're kind of in hiatus.
COVID kind of killed
Is there
the
a
band.
reunion tour? What's going
What's
on
that?
here? A reunion
The
tour?
Joker.
Well, yeah, the guitar, Two Token Joker is the name of the band.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Well, of course I've heard of that.
Right.
Jesus.
Local, original
Absolutely.
rock and roll band. Been around for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Well, our guitar player, Robert Badeau, passed away.
Oh, that's right.
So,
He's such a good dude.
he was such a good
man.
guy. Yeah. Really good, close friend of mine, but passed away. And so we're kind of on a hiatus. I got to learn how to play the guitar. It's pretty hard.
Yeah. Wow. Well,
I can't help you out, man. I play the saxophone.
Oh, well, hey, maybe.
Well, Bobby is doing some great things. He is basically offering up right now a box of Girl Scout cookies for every quote that he gives out. No strings attached. It can be a quote by email, by phone, by text. 479-3353. But if you get in touch with Bobby Bartlett over at State Farm, he's going to give you a quote, whether it's life
Wait,
insurance.
what kind of Girl Scout cookies?
He's got them all.
Oh, okay, good.
I was just over there. Literally,
I'm a Thin Mint guy.
he has copious amounts of Thin Mints. Okay. He's basically got a room
Full.
that's to the ceiling.
Oh, I hate Thin Mints. Ugh, make me gag.
What?
No, I'm not a mint guy. I don't like them York peppermint things. I don't like mint.
Are you from Canada?
There's something
Pretty
very,
close, eh?
Very wrong. I made homemade beef jerky.
Yeah.
Ugh.
A ton of it.
Oh my God! So I'll tell you a funny story.
I bring it over to his house.
Yeah.
I don't eat
He
beef
doesn't even
jerky.
like it?
No.
He's like, I don't like beef
You don't
jerky.
eat beef jerky?
Nope.
What?
So, want to hear a
dried
funny story?
bananas?
I'll tell you a funny.
What do you
Like
eat?
beef
Yeah, what do you
jerky.
eat? Dried bananas? I mean, come on.
I do
Yeah.
eat dried bananas.
Yeah, I like those. Those are good.
So, you want to hear a
What's the
funny
matter
story
with
about
you?
Tim Brick? So, Tim Brick was at my house, and his mom made him all this homemade fucking beef jerky, right? Yeah. And he's mowing on it on the couch, and he offered it to me. I was like, "No way! I don't eat beef jerky." I was like, "You know how that's made, right?" And he's like,
Oh, jeez.
and he instantly stops eating. And he's like, no. And I was like, you know why it's so salty? I said, beef jerky is originally made with bull sperm. Dude, he spit it out. He was so disgusted. And it took him a while. He's like, wait a minute. My mom doesn't use beef sperm to make these things. He was so upset.
Poor Tim.
that I convinced him it was beef sperm that gave it all the salt.
God, I
taste.
hope he's not
Flavorful.
listening.
Yeah, he's definitely
Jesus.
listening. Oh boy.
God.
There we go.
Anyway, if you give Bobby a call, he'll get you some Girl Scout cookies for every quote, whether it's auto, life insurance, home insurance, whatever. He'll take good care of you. I tried to get 5 quotes by phone and 5 quotes by email, just so I could get
10 boxes of
Yeah,
cookies.
10 boxes of
10
cookies.
boxes of cookies, and it
Well, that'd be a good morning snack for you.
didn't work. Tried. I love the peanut butter.
Hey,
ones.
I'm telling you right
Jesus.
now, dude, I am going to get you out walking. We're going to get you on a fasting diet.
Tell him.
We have big plans for you, and you're not
Tell-
going to be around long like this.
Tell
We're going
Scotty-
to help you out.
Tell Scotty what an amazing Spider-Man I was when I jumped up on the ring the other day.
Dude, the ring is 3 feet tall. It took him like 6 tries to jump up on.
But did he do the move? Did he have some good moves though?
No.
No. Okay.
No. You ever see a guy, like a really heavy guy, try to roll off a couch?
Rex, I got 24-inch inseams. Stop making fun of me before you piss me off. I'll come over there. I got 24-inch inseams, buddy. Okay?
That was
Short
it.
legs.
It was a thing to watch.
And short arms.
Yeah. Yeah.
T-Rex
big,
arms.
big boned.
God.
Big bone. That's what it is.
He's calling me names now.
I didn't.
The 66th
Look, we got him all flustered.
season
He's still
of
thinking about trying to jump up on that ring.
Thunder Road kicks off Sunday, May 4th, 27th Annual Community Bank, 150. Nice. And we got a couple of drivers from the Road Warriors that are jumping ship and headed over to the RK Miles Street Stops.
Yeah, baby. Nice. Oh, you guys do that?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Tyler Wheatley, Jason Kirby, Keegan Tabor, Jaden Del Toro,
All moving up.
Jamerson Tofani,
Travis
TJ
Payette
Hackett.
said you should be able to jump a school bus with them calves. Not when your belly's bigger than your calves. You got to have calves twice the size of your belly if you're going to do shit like that.
Travis, should I put you in an arm bar? Arm bar?
Yeah. Yeah.
What should ankle lock?
Do you
whatever
want me
the
to
hell that's
explain
called.
how to do it first?
Please,
Or?
please. Yeah, please. Hey, let's talk about the Battle and Berry 16. It's coming
Yes. So we
up. Tickets,
meet.
sponsors, all of that.
I'm hoping by next Friday we're going to announce some huge news. So I'll just tell you what we have for a plan going on, because we just hooked up with an investment company that wants to invest into Donnybrook. They're looking to invest $75,000 to $100,000 into our Donnybrook. If that happens today, when we finalize, we've been working with them for a couple weeks, but if that happens today, then what we are actively looking for is a former UFC fighter to fight our champion, John Pena, and bring a UFC fighter in here, because we're going to open up our Roku TV channel. You'll be able to watch Aired Out Podcast, our Investor, Donnybrook. You'll be able to see all those channels on Amazon, Apple, Roku TV, all of that stuff,
Wow,
plus our
I hope it
pay-per-views.
comes through for you. That'd be cool.
So we've been talking to them. I mean, they want to do it. It's just if we agree to what they want for terms and stuff.
Yep.
But we're definitely going to expand our digital platform. We have one of the biggest fights in New England for this fight. We have the #1 ranked guy that's going to fight for the professional middleweight title, and that's going to be against a local undefeated professional fighter, Chris Pearl.
You know, I've been to more than one of those.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And I do want to.
Gabe Cole is listening. He's too.
Yeah, he's
Hey,
one of our
Gabe.
sponsors down there. He has a VIP table. Gabe's usually walking around throwing out T-shirts for the source out there.
Yeah.
He's always at our shows.
But I just wanted to give you a compliment. You know, I've been to many of your shows, and every time I go, it gets better. The
Oh, yeah.
you know, the The sound last time was really good. The fighters are getting more and more, big boys coming.
Right.
And you put on a really great show for, little old Barrie, Vermont.
Yeah.
It's a pretty professional fight show. So, yeah, if it's something that you haven't gone to see, I strongly suggest that you do because it's definitely a good time to be had.
Yeah.
here.
All
Sure
the
is.
officials now that we use are all UFC judges, UFC refs. Kevin McDonald's one of our
No, very
referees.
professional, though, from the introductions, the
Yep.
whole way.
Everything.
The
it
MC,
just, Yep.
he's the MC for the New York Mets, Justin Manning.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
Man,
really,
Man, is
really
he
a
good.
job.
Jesus.
Good show.
Do you need any help with anything for this year's Battle in Barrie 16?
Yeah, so we're looking to hire a breakdown staff for the Sunday because now the city's having us break it down on Sunday the day after, so we got everything out of there. We need a cleanup crew and a breakdown crew, and we look to hire those people to work on Sundays to help us with breaking it down.
Okay.
We're always looking to hire
Picking up
staff.
chairs,
It's a cash. Yeah, it is. But what?
Yeah. What else?
Just fans. Get
Yeah.
your tickets.
Get your tickets.
Get your tickets.
DonnybrookFightPromotions.com.
Yep, absolutely. Easy to find.
I was thinking, this is an idea I had.
Yeah.
Is that you should do like celebrity match.
So,
Huh?
yeah. Well, that's what we were trying to work on, that Michael Poitras fighting on Aaron, Aaron LaFountain there. and it's funny because, I'll
I'm
set it
thinking
up.
JD, you versus
I'll
JD
definitely set it.
in a
No,
death
these
match?
guys want to
Yeah.
fight over politics. They got into it online, and then the one guy's like, "I'll beat you up," and the other guy's like, I'll put you in. You'll turtle right up." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, I know the
on,
one
fellas."
guy. I got to find out who this guy is." And so I look, and I'm like, "Man." So number one, the guy that you're messing with is a trained fighter, and he's
Yeah.
like 240 pounds.
Sure.
You're like 140 and live in your basement, and you want to fight with the guy.
Yeah.
It's probably not the best idea.
No.
And but if
No,
you,
but I'm saying if you could, throw that out there and
Josh,
kind of like run what you brung.
Josh
I
says
thought
should-
about grappling another black belt on there. There are a lot of people on it because everybody
don't you
wants to
do
see
it?
me lose.
do it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I'm still my surgery for my bicep is not 100%. I'm not
I like
that's
the one
right,
where
you
they
blew that out.
slap fighting.
Yeah.
Oh, so I actually offered a fight one of the slap fighters to fight on our next show as a
Maybe you
co-main
could have
event.
us, right, like a little slap.
Andrew
fight.
Provost.
That would
he's
be
a big.
Would you love that?
I would love to watch that. Yeah, I don't know. If
Really?
I, don't
I
know.
I slapped.
Just one match. It'd be
Yeah.
big,
I gave Rex a good slap one time right in the ass, and it was not.
Whoa.
Didn't. Yeah.
What kind of a show is this?
Well.
Well, we were naked, covered in baby
okay.
oil.
Yeah, it was a whole different. That was years ago.
It was hot yoga.
Yeah.
Long time ago. It was, but God. Yeah, I think I think that's a great idea. I
Oh,
think you should do
Wilkins.
something
Wilkins
like
Harley Davidson's bringing up a Harley.
Oh.
They're going to bring a Harley up. They're going to set up a tent up there. Yeah, dude. They're the ones that volunteered they give us the big screen TV to raffle off.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah,
they're really good with us.
Yeah.
That's
They're local.
fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. John Lyons is awesome.
Yep, yep.
Really good people.
Is RK Miles a sponsor of the Donnybrook Fight Promotions?
No, they're too big. They got their own things going on. Their ad budget's already spent for the year.
Okay. I was just asking. Just wondering.
That's a good question.
Well, nice to put Scotty on the spot, though. I appreciate it there, JD.
No, I'm just, Josh is saying I should volunteer to be the ring girl.
You should.
I already have.
No, if you had one of those little
tutus?
outfits. Yeah.
I did. I've
You
already
did it?
done it. Yes. They wouldn't let me get
There's
out of
no way I'm not going to do that to my show.
I tried.
We have a professional show. I'm not doing that.
They wouldn't let me out of the locker room.
It was bad enough when Ben Fields got up there
I got
and
a
did
visual right
goose
now. And
step.
it's bad.
Oh, it was.
It is bad. Yeah.
I thought it looked pretty good. A little bit of lipstick, buddy.
Yeah.
Worked
Oh.
for me.
That's a different community.
Thank you so much.
Hey, wait a
Much
minute.
for
What else?
coming in here.
You know what we got to start advertising?
Was that?
We have to start advertising the Bikers for Beth.
Oh,
that's
yes.
right around the corner. Travis is putting it on this year. I'm urging as many people to get out here, and I'll tell you why. Number one, the beneficiary for it is Eddie Sanborn. Eddie Sanborn has cancer right now. He's worked throughout his entire life. It's Travis's father-in-law. It's Samantha Payette's father. It's my cousin Eddie. So it's not just cousin Eddie. The Sanborn family has been hit with cancer. Like,
So-
he just lost his nephew,
Three
Louis. Yeah, we just lost Raymond. So the Sanborns have been really taking it hard when it comes to cancer. So this is really close to not just the community, but it's close to me personally. So I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll bring 2 motorcycles. One can take a passenger, one can't. My son will probably drive. Whatever. I'll let him drive the fast one or whatnot. So if I need to give someone a ride or whatever. But
So when is that?
Third Sunday, the third Sunday of May.
the third Sunday. Okay. Perfect. Well, we're going to start mentioning that like every week just to get it in their heads.
Yeah.
And I'm going to specifically do it right here every Friday because we get so many views.
Yeah.
I get it.
And Cindy's going to be coming in.
Yeah, my haters love to come watch me just to
Yeah.
just so they can say something.
Oh, he messed
Scotty,
up.
I know how surprised you are that he's got some haters.
Yeah.
Just sit down, calm down. It's going to be all right.
Okay.
Rex actually has some haters. May 18th.
I know. Everybody thinks I'm going to be as extreme on here as I am on Facebook, and I'm not. Facebook is like fantasy land.
I'll be riding with you this year.
You will not.
I will
be
be.
riding with me.
What do you, not on your bike.
Okay, good. I'm glad because you'd have to face the other way. I do not do the nut to butt thing. Never in my life, and it's not going to start now.
You have to put a stuffed animal in between you.
Nope, he faces the other way.
Stuffed animal.
Faces the other way.
God.
Because I know him. He'd throw that stuffed animal out the window.
Off the rails.
Yeah.
Cindy is going to come in.
May 18th.
Donna's going to come in.
Cindy, Donna, Travis. Travis is down in Florida right now.
Yeah. Kickoff Saturday the 17th.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what Cindy's texting me right now.
Oh,
Where the hell are you?
So we drink all night long.
Yeah.
And
we
then
ride
stumble over to the
motorcycles.
ride.
Yeah.
That sounds like what we used to do in the
God.
Army. You would drink all night long and then make it over to the post run.
Lord.
Oh.
Scotty, thank you for. Believe me, I'll pay you later. But thank you for coming in here. And
Thank you so much for having me. I had a blast. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I hope you can come in here again. And have some
Well,
fun.
if I don't get fired, maybe.
Yeah, right. Well, you could work for me.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Josh Howard, it's more like gut to butt.
You know that was. Does everyone know?
I'm never going to forget that saying.
Does
I got old JD, gut to butt.
Does everyone know how Rex tore his bicep?
It wasn't with
I
gut
don't.
to butt.
I don't
can
know
tell
if I
you
want
that.
to. I don't know if I want to.
No, it was the arm wrestling match that I had with him.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't
Oh,
hear
you
about that?
arm wrestled him and
Beat his ass.
ripped it right off.
Silly. Tore his freaking bicep
Dude,
right out.
Even without a bicep, I'd still beat you arm wrestling.
Thanks, Scotty.
All right. Thanks a bunch.
That's nice. Thanks, Scotty.
Thanks, Rex.
Thanks, Rex.